Obviously, the biggest game swinging play of the entire day of the playoffs so far is what happened on that quarterback sneak. It's a 14-point swing in a matter of half a second. And you just have to know in that situation, you're a full yard, maybe even a little bit a yard and change.
Yeah.
Just sneak it in.
Yeah.
You got two guys coming behind you. Think about the effectiveness of quarterback sneaks when designed properly this season, and you have the little bush push behind people. The conversion rate has to be astronomical. There are a lot of people
3 times in a row.
Yes. A lot of teams and a lot of people have gotten a little loose with the ball around the goal line recently. Even Justin Jefferson tried to reach for the pylon today. Yep. A lot of moments where it's a dicey proposition in those huge leverage spots, and it truly swung the Ravens season potentially. It was a 14-point swing in a playoff game, deep into a playoff game that they probably shouldn't have been sticking around it.
Right. And again, it was a great drive that led to that moment too. And that's what it's like, oh my God, you can just feel the air come out. But I mean, Huntley he's got to know you're listed 6'1", 204 pounds. So, probably 6 foot, probably 195. I don't think going over the top. And some people, I tweeted about this and some people were like, well, what about Drew Brees? And then Seth Galina had a cut up of Drew Brees doing the quick jump over because he was so good at it. If you look on all those Saints clips, it's like 4th and an inch.
Yes.
It's like, it's like barely any, because then it's just a quick get over. He's taking off from like the 3, like Michael Jordan in Space Jam, taking off from half court. Like he's going
like Josh Allen did against the Bills, but the Josh Allen with a running head start.
It's 6'5", 245. Yeah. And then that's the other thing. He looked like holding up Simba. He was holding the football over the line. I thought Rafiki holding it over the line. I know I'm trying to remember who the Bengals defender was. Was it? I don't know who.
Logan Wilson caused the fumble.
It was Logan Wilson, and he was like Logan Wilson almost like grabbed it from him. He was like, "Okay, thank you," like just handing it off. So it was. You got.
It's like in the Water Boy where he throws it right to him.
Thanks. Yeah.
There you are.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Burrow, how many tackles did he miss? A dozen?
Oh God, yes.
I mean, and he does that all the time, but just in this game, and the Ravens did a nice job with their pass rush and just trying to stay disciplined and all that and making them work for it. And like you're saying, making everything they try to make it hard. And they said, hey, we will get some big plays up front. We'll game you up front. They're running so many twists and games. First drive, Calais Campbell switch gaps that he started in.
Did it multiple times in this game. And I think they were using that as they saw something where they thought that could be a part of their game plan.
Yeah, and that's what it is when you're pass protection, you work at those games, all the twists and stunts. It's just like a blitz path because the offensive line has to communicate it. Well, that's one way without blitzing is to make the offensive line communicate and make sure they're all good, especially with a bunch of backups in there. And there's just stuff like little tweaks. They hinted at this last week, the Ravens, and that's why. There's some people this past week kind of watching. It's like, hey, the Ravens defense did some stuff, and they did again in this game, but they're running like spot drop, 3 buzz where the safety comes in and essentially double team Chase at times. They were bracketing Chase every time he was in the slot. They were running a quarters variation, but they're inside bracketing it where they had 2 guys on him. So they were onto their tendencies, which the Bengals have done such a good job of, kind of dropping and changing up throughout the season. But the Ravens just made it tough. It's a divisional opponent. They got them dialed in. That's not their first time playing them, obviously, this year. They played them twice in 2 weeks. So, yeah, they made it tough. But, Joe Burrow made enough. He had a couple corner throws today. He had one to Chase. That was like, he must have thrown it 3 steps before Chase hit his break.
That was happening all game. His first 25 attempts, he was 20 at 25. He had 2.36 time to throw on those plays, on those 25 attempts. You could feel that. And there were a couple of extended play action throws that pumped that up. But if you look at the numbers, I didn't get this granular on it, but I guarantee you from the shotgun on 3rd down, whatever, that number is much lower. And the 2.36 is already a low number. So with about 11 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, there's that 3rd and inches play where Roquan has him dead to rights.
Yep.
And he somehow slips out of it. 3rd and 9 on that same drive. He gets it out to Chase real quick, working out underneath against Marlon Humphrey. Play action from under center on the very next play. He hits Chase on the right side underneath. And then the throw to Hurst for the touchdown. He audibles into that. And it's a beautiful quarters beater where they high-low the linebacker and he somehow sees that they're going to rotate back into it. Because Chuck Clark on that play.
He threw that so early.
He audibles into the play.
Yeah.
So he on that play, Chuck Clark is walked down over Hayden Hurst as the number 2 receiver. And Burrow somehow is like deciphers that they're going to drop back into quarters, and I'm going to be able to hit him on a little in breaker with Joe Mixon holding down the linebacker right there in that spot. And he audibled into it, and it was a beautiful throw, beautiful decision, threw it right on time. Those are some of the moments. Again, not gaudy numbers from him, but playing with 3 backup offensive linemen against a team that has seen you a lot, knows you a lot, is, I think, a very good team. Very good defensive team, very well coached on that side of the ball. Yeah. I thought that he really controlled the game in a way that was beneficial for the Bengals.
What we said is that I should say learn how to play quarterback, but he's quarterbacked his ass off this whole year.
And that's really has. And I think tonight was another example of that, even if the numbers weren't great.
It's playoff football. It's team game. That's what it is. The stats, it doesn't matter. Like, it's the W at the end of the game, and they played fine enough on that side of the ball. And that's on top of it. It was that type of a game. They're only getting so many possessions. They had to work for it. Like, they were like, hey, we can't just give this ball right away or back right away. They did at the end of the game, but that's what it was. They had to stay efficient and stay ahead of the chains, not make any mistakes. That's what it was. It felt like that from the Bengals, especially on offense. It's like, just don't give any easy buckets to this opposing team. So it's like, we take care of the ball as well. Nothing stupid or anything. But then that's what's awesome about the team. And we talked about, we've complimented this Bengals offense and how they adjust and become more efficient, especially running the ball and passing the ball. That's the only way, 2 ways that you can move the ball. But but then also on the 2-point, T. Higgins is dunking, and again, they always have that little card that they could pull off. Jamar Chase is making 20 guys miss. Still the first tackler has never brought down Jamar Chase. It's still going. Longest streak that you'll ever see. It's the Iron Horse of NFL football, is how many the first tackler, Jamar Chase style. But no, that's what they did. I love the Chase touchdown that they had in the red zone. Roquan Smith was running vertical with Tyler Boyd because it's just the rules in the red zone. It took advantage of Patrick Queen's eyes. As soon as Patrick Queen looks over there, Burrow hits Chase, boom, easy walk-in touchdown. So nice designs, and then they just have those plays and players in their back pocket at all times.